There was a time in which all of history was passed down through stories. Some passed information down through elaborate rituals and dances. They were beautiful. You should have seen them. Amazing. And honestly, I think those dancing cavemen were more concise with the stories than these two Neanderthals. Just dance for us, Dave and Juan. Dance. This is Dave and Juan.
Hey, hello everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back. Juan on the road.
On the road, man.
Yeah.
From Tupelo, Mississippi.
Tupelo. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The birthplace of Elvis. And
Thank you.
apparently from all of the graphics in the hotel lobby and the 2 or 3 places that I've been since I got here late last night, it's about the only thing
Hey,
Tupelo has
man,
to
look,
celebrate.
you got, oh, hang on.
Yeah,
Hi, everybody. How you doing? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
All right. Thank you. Everybody sit down, please. Busy morning. We're doing
morning.
this. I know morning. It's been a while since we've done a morning show.
Yeah.
100 years ago, basically. But for a couple of reasons, Juan is on the road in Tupelo, not on business.
Swim meet, man. Swim meet.
So how's your breaststroke going? You good? You got it?
Mine's going all right. You know, Riley's having, not the best couple of days. It's a learning experience.
Man, look, she's young though.
This
She's
morning
young.
She told me that the pool was slow. So it doesn't appear to be slow for everybody else. So
Oh man, that's some dad stuff. Oh.
yeah, But,
Yeah, I enjoy doing that every now and then. Back in the day when my kids were still competing with stuff, you kind of bring them along a little bit and say, yeah, I know, but you sucked.
Well, it's tough for her because she's, this is a huge meet. I mean, there's probably 10 states here. And so she's usually in the, top 3 time. So she gets the center lanes.
Yeah, no, I ain't
now
happening
she's
here.
Like, she's in the outside lane. So, she used to swimming in the no wake zone. Now she's in the in the heavy wake.
Man, it's all good. It's good. Like I said, good experiences. I think back to a
big meet. So,
dude, 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, I remember that age, high school, right? I was, tennis. I won regionals in tennis, and thing. And I'm the man. I can do this. I'm going to state, and gee whiz, you soon realize, oh, these guys been practicing too.
Yeah, they got a lot of demands out there.
Oh yeah, like I remember I had to play this guy who was the number 2 seed from some big New Orleans school, and stupid me, right? I remember getting out. And the weirdest thing about the whole state tournament, this was the weird. It's like our prom was, I think, that night, and we were way in North Louisiana, and it was win or lose, you're leaving. Like, yeah,
I'm not missing that prom.
I'm not missing prom. I rented a tux and everything. I ain't missing that. And I didn't have to worry about that because I walked in with this guy. Now I get out there's this number 2 seed, and it was funny. Just again, I can still, these things you can remember 30 something years later. I still remember like what I should have done. Like, if I'd have played that guy again, I'd have had him. But I was
the mental aspect. You just went in physical.
Well, it's one of those things. It's people don't, it's like sport, any sport. Swimming's the same thing. Basketball, at some level, you got to look. Sometimes you run into people that are just athletically right. That's just
right. They're gifted.
But more often than not, you get toward higher competition. Everybody's pretty good, and well, good for her. It's a good good learning experience, and
yeah.
But there's nothing more there's nothing more painful than watching a swimming meet, though, man.
Oh, I don't. It's odd because we got there, at 7:30 this morning. She didn't swim until 9:30. And I literally, I don't watch anything but her meet. I zone out.
Mm-hmm.
I've been gone for work for 2 hours, and my coworker that works with me is texting me frantically already, and stuff like, I hate to do this, but I'm really stressed out about the whole next week because I'm not going back until I'm off for a week. And it's like, well, apparently you don't hate to do it because you've been here for 10 minutes, 2 hours, and you're doing it.
I'm glad. Yeah, glad that's working out for you. So good luck with that. Has she still got more to go this weekend?
Yeah, we go. Today's Thursday, so she swims again Friday and Saturday, and then after Saturday, we're heading to the beach.
You got a rough life.
The way it's going, they do the preliminaries in the morning and then the finals in the evening. So I'm thinking we'll be able to head out Saturday morning.
Nice beach. They got a nice beach in Tupelo.
Yeah. We're going to Orange Beach.
Thank you.
I do driving here. We've talked about like driving 308 and Burglar Rose Highway. I have never seen darkness like the darkness I drove through for 2 hours last night. I mean, Google Maps is telling me, turn left in a quarter mile, and it's like, where?
Yeah.
Where? I don't see a road. I don't see anything. For the first time in my life, and again in northern Mississippi, I came across a caution sign with a horse and buggy on it.
No.
Hand to God. And it's like, well, nothing will make this trip better than me seeing a horse and buggy at 10:30 at night, driving down this dark road.
Didn't know there was a lot of Amish in Tupelo area, but
I don't know.
Let's see if they make some good furniture, man. It's good. Good stuff. We're doing this. Well, actually, we were going to do it on Thursday, regardless. We normally record these things on Thursday. We're doing it early because
where are you going? I don't know.
I'm going to a concert tonight with, and it turns out it's my wife and my oldest son. It was supposed to be originally, it was going to be me and my sons, and my wife was supposed to be out of town. Things changed, so and now one of my sons has to work. He can't really get off, and he's not that crushed about it. So we're going to it's something mega something.
Mega death.
No. It's the Hella Mega Tour. Anyway, it's Weezer and Fall Out Boy and Green Day.
Oh wow!
So, and I've already pulled down the playlist. I'm just that way. I like knowing to see.
I'm sure Green Day's headlining, right?
Yeah, but I wish they wouldn't. I wish they weren't. They are. But I'm a Fall Out Boy. And everybody I talk to, that's who we want to see. We want to see Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy is the real deal. And Weezer's good too, right? But the thing is, so this concert starts at 5:30. And I was thinking, man, that's early to start a concert.
Thursday.
Well, look, I pulled down the playlist. Dude, I think Weezer does 18 songs.
Oh wow! So like everybody's headlining.
Everybody does full. I mean, and which is funny, right?
Get your money's worth.
Me, I don't want to get my money's worth. I want to. The ultimate concert to me would be if they sort of texted me beforehand. What do you want me to open with? What 4 or 5 songs do you really want to hear? Man, let's get this and get out of here, right? Because
you're a fan, man. You're a great fan.
Look, I paid full money. What I paid for these, and I bought these seats at a weak moment, probably because it was pandemic nonsense going on. Tired of everything, and just when concerts started coming back, and you were just like, man, we doing that, somewhere. Man, we doing that. I was sitting on the back deck when I saw this. I'm like, oh man, yeah, and we'll do that. Probably had a beer or two in me, which sort of takes away my first level of common sense, right? The first, right? You get by the pricing aspect of it there, and I went, yeah. So I paid a ton of money for these seats, and then after realized, do I really want to go? And I do, but I'm also a little worried that, and my family already knows we're laughing about it, as long as it doesn't get political.
Yeah, that's the bad thing. And I don't know about the other bands. I know Green Day will get political.
Oh man, I used to love Green Day. I had when they blew up back in I guess it was the 90s.
Yeah.
I had, that CD. That thing played all the time at our house. Love me some Green Day, and then somewhere along the way, dude, just
Yeah, I've only seen them when they opened for U2 at the pregame when the Superdome opened after Katrina.
yeah. Oh, and they're
So
good.
for
Look,
the
man, I
whole
like
Saints are
them.
coming deal. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like them. I like their music. I'm just, again, and part of me doesn't want to walk in there like the guy that's like, yeah, come on, say something.
Yeah.
Give me
Not
a
paying
reason.
to be lectured.
Give me a reason to be back in my house in about 35 minutes. Come on. But so yeah, and I'm trying to coach my wife and my oldest son, like, can we bail out on, halfway through? I know what they open with, and problem is the song everybody likes, and there's a lot of songs I like, but they close with Time of Your Life.
Yeah.
And that's the one everybody likes, right? That's the one everybody, so it's yeah.
Why they close with it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So you don't leave.
I could hear that from the car though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, I used to be big on that one. That was always my take on a lot of concerts is I hear the encore as I'm walking away. My goal is, man, get on the other side of all this stuff. But
see, man, I was always, I made sure the lights were fully back on before I'd leave.
It depends what they sang, the old game we used to play is you'd see a concert and it was a good concert and everybody's like, oh, it's great. And it goes, they're coming back for an encore and you start in your head, what didn't they sing yet? Surely they did all the hits. And then, depending on the band comes back out and you go, oh yeah. The worst ever in the history of ever. And I've said this before, cause I was a Bon Jovi fan. I guess I still am a Bon Jovi fan. Their music doesn't hold up like some,
yeah.
That's the funny thing. If you ever want to, we ought to do this one time. You want to have fun, just pull out Bon Jovi lyrics. Like it only rivals Nirvana. If you pull out Nirvana, I didn't realize how ridiculous Nirvana lyrics were. And don't get me wrong, everybody loves Nirvana and great. I mean, it's a good album. But until was it Guitar Hero or whatever that game came out, where right you're playing and they'd actually have the lyrics. Could not pay attention to it. They'd actually have the lyrics to the songs, and you're like, that's the lyrics.
Yeah,
wait.
Pretty.
Those are the actual lyrics. And with Bon Jovi is like, how many songs is na 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 like the main lyric? Right. But yeah, we saw him or them at the Houston Rodeo a few years back, and Houston Rodeo shows are not great because they're only an hour and they get a lot of money. These bands get a lot of money, but the rodeo don't play. Rodeo's like you're on, you're off. Usually they may have changed it, but you know what his encore was? Twist and Shout. The Beatles.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Awful. Awful. Like, dude, how bored are you? That's what I hate about some of these really successful, and not a lot of them. Most of them get it. Yeah, dude, I don't care if you're tired of singing. What I don't care. Do Runaway. You want this crowd to go crazy? Come back with a song that I don't really care for, but at least it's like, oh yeah, first album.
You can sing along. Yeah.
He's a little Twist and Shout. But I don't know. I'm just glad that 10 years later, I'm still getting complaints out of me about that. I hold a grudge.
Well, it's when you start reading the lyrics of songs, it's both entertaining and then almost mind blowing that, it's so simplistic.
All about the music, man.
So nothing. Yeah.
My son will tell you. Yeah. That's you're not really listening to them. Back in the day, there are some songs you could tell. Hey, Bob Dylan, when he wrote a song, it was all about the lyrics.
Right. I had a friend who was a songwriter years ago, and he would write the music first, and he would insist that the lyrics are the easy part. Yeah, he said, "Yeah, I
believe that." We were kidding. Coming on right before we pressed the record. I'm thankfully remembered to press the record button this time.
It was close.
It was close. We were about to start without recording this. You were mentioning that your son, the one you mentioned before, that in his first reel, his big boy job.
His big boy job. He's going to be. He's got one more year left of school, but he's got an internship this year, and it started at the beginning of the summer, and his initial questions were, are just surrounding the shock that he had to work 8 hours a day.
Yeah, man.
Every day, and clarifying, that of course that includes my lunch hour, right? And it was no. And so he's quickly discovering that, every office, I believe, and I've worked in a number of different places. Every office has that one person that's the office buffoon or the office idiot who's
The
seems like
butthead,
right.
the butthead.
It's their life to rat you out or to find things. Yeah. And my philosophy has always been when that person quits, there's always somebody, waiting to take their place.
It's a good gig. It's a good gig.
But so there's this girl he works with, and she's an intern as well. But yeah, she's the one who says, you were outside for 30 minutes. Did you clock out? And his deal is, I was talking to the HR director. You want me to go ask her if I should clock out? And he gets some of his mouth from me. But so
thanks, Karen.
Last week he was going to pick up some lunch just from Taco Bell and trying to be the nice office guy and offer people stuff. And kids that age, they just Venmo each other left and right.
Yeah.
So this girl doesn't believe in Venmo, and she only carries cash. And you do you.
I don't hate on that. I actually, I probably agree with her on that one. Yeah.
Well, but at the time she wanted something but didn't have cash.
Oh, then you ought to look. Oh, now you want a loan.
Yeah. So, and I told him, all right, because he called me on his way fussing. I said, just get the girl some food, man. It's not gonna kill you. She'll pay you back, just whatever. And it wasn't about the money. I think it was just the principle of the thing. But yesterday he sent me a text, and I'm pulling up a picture on my phone, and we'll put it on the screen. But to show you, she paid him back.
No. In quarters.
So that's
man.
Annoying personality he feels she has hadn't gotten any less annoying for him. So
I think what you need to just encourage him is just whether she is or not, just assume she's kind of special. You'll be amazed how much more patience you can have if you just kind of step back and think, well, that's okay. You're just struggling with that. And you think about, look, I know, just it's hard. But that again, we first started doing this podcast 100 years ago. It seems now, week 23, I think we're in the Michael Jordan episode. But we talked about the way you looked at life in your 20s as compared to. And that's one of the big things is just, it's so hard at that time to get over some of these. That's nothing.
Right.
Man.
Well, your comfort zone at that age is about that.
Right. Or the idea of 6 months. Okay. It's going to take 6 months to do something. Well, guess what? When you're 20 years old, 6 months represents, that's 1/40 of your life. Yeah. Okay. Just look at it that way. Okay. You get to our age, man, 6 months. I just want to make another.
That's a rush.
That's right. Hang on now.
I don't know if I got time to get to that.
I got to warm up. 6 months. Is that all? Is that all we got? Yeah. But you're going to have that. You're going to run into the other, again, pieces of advice, and with my youngest, who's in full-time work now, and he's doing, knock wood. I'm so superstitious on stuff. You ever get that way? Like I get worried to start feeling good about some things. Like give credit and give like, man, you're doing great. But I get, because I'm that guy. I don't know if I was raised that way. I've talked to my mom. If my mom might have put that in me, you're just like, oh, look out. Don't get cocky.
Yeah, that was, but my mom, and it sounds like what you're talking about, my mom would worry about not worrying.
Yeah, I got to have something to worry about. If
and this is my mom. She would, oh, babe, you working too much. You need to, you need to take some time off. And like I said, I'm fine. And then it's, you taking off? Are you sure you can? You're not gonna get in trouble?
That's right.
Like, what do you want me to do?
I just call in the morning. Say, Mom, should I go to work today? Should I hang out? I was telling my
vacation.
Yeah, that's with some of the advice I've been giving my son. We talked about this before about, man, just be on time. We kid about that now. I'm trying to learn, whatever strikes a nerve. I say, what's your brand? You know what your brand needs to be? You early. That's your brand.
Yeah,
your brand is your brand is you're there. And on time. We kind of kid about that, man. Stay on brand, and just Don't be the kind of guy that they look forward. They're glad when you're on the schedule.
Yeah.
And not vice versa. What's funny was he got some brownie points the other day. He got a manager gave him a 1 hour off pass. Right.
Nice.
Now get this. You know why? Because during a slow time, he picked up a broom, started cleaning up, sweeping up some stuff and wiping things down. And he got now. First of all, I'm said that's amazing. That's fantastic. Yeah. That's a good manager too. That's a good manager that realizes, hey, I want to reward this kind of behavior because these are the kind of things that nobody, these little branches, that's not anybody's assignment. Right. Somebody, but I was joking with him saying, in your life, have you ever picked up a broom in this? I mean, seriously. And he's worked
how to do it.
He's worked in restaurants before and grocery stores. So I know he has been on the working end of a broom, but I don't think I've ever seen it. That was yeah, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's my son is they're moving or he's moving to a different place in their lease. And it's odd. And maybe it's around like that in other college towns, but in Tuscaloosa, your lease ends like July 24th. And the next one starts August 1st. So everybody's kind of like in limbo.
Yeah.
But the landlord gave him, the week to get out. So his roommate is doing what he typically does. And it's like, I got an extra week. Hell, I'm taking that week. And so my son's been fussing all week about the kid not cleaning and taking. So I don't know why it's taking him so long. I said, dude, you want to come upstairs in your room? Yeah. I'm sure there's a plate under the bed that has been there for months. But it's nice when the shoe's on the other foot.
Yeah. So we last night caught up with a friend. Hadn't seen him forever. Forever. It's been a long time when we started doing this that you and I hadn't been around. Even longer. My friend Jim from down on the bayou. And he's actually in town with his daughter and her friend. They're coming to the same concert that I'm going to tonight. So it was good. We get to catch up last night. Get a couple beers and just fun catching up with he's guys are I think obviously we're wired different than girls. Guys you can go through your life where they're like blocks of time where somebody's your best friend. Right. That's your best friend. This is, you might have friends, but that's that's the sleepover friend. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, interests go off different ways, but you always have that. Right. And it's not like, you don't fall out, you don't do anything. It's just like, okay, we even do different things, but you still have that slot of, that's my best friend from this time to this time.
Your anchor guy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just great. Like, we're old dudes now and just catching up and talking, but he sent me, because I guess he works down. He's in law enforcement, but telling me some stories there. Wow! But he said he actually texted me the picture, and I thought it was a joke, but it's not. And so shout out to, I guess it's called Moran's Marina. I got a restaurant, whatever, down, and I'm not sure if I've ever been there. It's down toward Fouchon, down on the way toward Grandau. But their lunch,
at the end of the bayou.
Yeah, their lunch special was a weenie spaghetti, even on the sign.
Obviously inspired by you.
I don't know. I know. Trust me. Weenie spaghettis have been around for 100 years on the bayou, but I just laughed my head off and it was legit. I said, man. So next time I'm down, that area, I have to call ahead. Maybe call the day before. When's your next weenie spaghetti?
What's the special? What day is the special?
Man, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
It's good to plan your trip around, man.
I'm gonna do that. But yeah, it was good.
Delicacy.
It's good catching up with Jim. You kind of these flashback memories of, and that's what's. It's going to be curious. I'll be curious down the line. See, people that are growing up are maybe our kids, and definitely people younger than our kids. Everything they've ever done is documented.
Oh, yeah.
Right. There's pictures. There's social media posts. So when they go back, it's like they had a stenographer following them their entire lives. With us, right? Their memories.
Yeah, if you don't remember it.
Well, just
That's
joking
part
with.
of the great thing about getting back together or
Yes.
hanging out with a friend you hadn't seen in forever.
No,
Like,
we're just
remember,
hanging
oh
out.
my God, I hadn't thought about that in years.
You know, or stuff that exactly like it's funny the things you remember.
Right. It didn't flash up on my Facebook memories.
But yeah, last night, James, out of the blue, says, yeah, your dad had a car. Because I remember freaking out one time. He's bringing us somewhere, and it had he said, I think it was a Chrysler, and I think it might have been a Chrysler. I don't know. It might have been a Plymouth, but it had a push button transmission.
Wow.
I know most people don't realize there was a time. So I guess the car was from the 60s or 70s.
No clutch, just
push button. And they ended up, I don't know if the technology wasn't great or what happened, or people just were too stupid and they made mistakes. And right. Because now, yeah, it's so sophisticated. But yes, there was. I'll have to do a little Google search and figure out what. I remember he said that.
Maybe that's what inspired the push button radio dial.
I think that was around, man. I'm not but that, and I was thinking, I forgot to bring it up to James. You think about when we used to hang out, how did you kill time? Now everybody's playing video games. I remember we were big into the $6 Million Man. That was like
Steve Austin.
Dude, Steve Austin.
We can rebuild him. We can make him better than
we even had the action figures. Okay. So I had the Steve, I might have been a Christmas present. I had the Steve Austin. Then I also had the Maskatron.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that was, I don't even know if that, I guess that might have showed up on an episode, but it was the, I'll find it. I'll Google, I'll find some stuff here, but so it was I guess the bad guy, but he was like a robot and you could change the face. It could change the mask. It could either be, I think it could be Steve Austin or it could be Oscar,
Oscar Goldman.
There you go. Oscar Goldman.
Man, look at see. I hadn't thought about that in years.
You could change the arms out to be things. Oh yeah. So we always, and James was a good guy because he always would be Steve Austin and I'd be Maskatron, and Maskatron in our game always won because Maskatron had all kinds of cool things you could pull on Steve. So James was a good sport about that. Like, all right,
we had GI Joes, and then I remember I'm a little older than you, but I remember as GI Joes got more advanced. It was G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
100%.
And then G.I. Joe with the lifelike hair that no human being on earth had.
Was that the one where it was just like a
it's like a buzz?
A buzz? Yeah, it was. Yeah, G.I. I remember the
I'll have that now.
Kung Fu grip. I had G.I. Joe, the Jeep. I had a big Jeep. It's funny, too, because it was military. I mean, it was hand grenades. Back in the good old days. Now everybody get triggered. Like you can't have any of this stuff for kids. No. It was it was good stuff. That now I missed out, but my cousins had a Stretch Armstrong.
My brother had a Stretch Armstrong because I think that was a little later than me. But yeah, but what a dumb toy, but what a good toy. You could stretch that sucker for days.
The kind of stuff you'd like to have today. Right. Yeah. I mean, if I'd pay, if they were selling Stretch Armstrongs for $50 in a store, I'd be, hey, give me a Stretch. sit at my desk doing, that's probably what I should do instead of going down these rabbit trails sometimes online. just set my desk up. Steve Austin, Maskatron.
Who would win?
And Stretch. Yeah. I don't know. I'd go with G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe had heavy artillery and hand grenades.
Mine, I had one that had a wetsuit, and I remember it stayed in the car or something, so the wetsuit melted onto him. Great. It's funny because I'll get together, and my friend Duke, who you've heard me talk about, I guess maybe 4 years ago, we got together, and it was, I think, the first time in probably 15 years that we had been in a room together. And within 15 seconds, it was like we had never not been in the gap, but it was so you go back to you sharing the same stories. Remember when? I'll ask my wife 5 times in a swim meet during an event, which heat is she swimming? Which heat is she swimming? 2. Okay, which heat? And I can't remember that
because I'm not paying attention to anything. Right. So please let me know when my kid's getting in the water. So
just tap me.
Yeah.
It's also funny decades ago. A minute ago, not so much.
He'd be like, "Hey, Dad, you remember?" And like before he goes too much farther, I'm like, "No, let me cut you off. Just assume, no, I don't remember." And my wife gets a little frustrated with me sometimes too, because we're doing something. She'll throw somebody's name out, and then she could tell I'm just looking at her like, do I know this person? Do I? And she's like, "Yes, you know this person." And she start describing, and then sometimes I go like I pretend I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have no idea what she's talking about."
Oh no, nah.
But I figure I'll figure it out, right? You figure like, okay, maybe once the story starts, we're gonna get to a point where I go, "Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about," because it's painful to try to get through that part. Like, wait, I have to acknowledge that I have a picture in my mind of who you're talking about before this, because that's going to take a while. Because and it's not that I forget so much as I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like I got their name. I said, "Oh, hey," and then I later forgot that I never got their name.
Right.
I never.
Right.
Right. Or it may have been said, "Hey, this is so-and-so." And it's not, you're not being rude. You're just like, "Oh, hey, good. Hi, good. Let's do this. Let's do this little temporary human bonding thing." And I'm not storing. My hard drive's pretty full.
See you in 10 seconds and not know who you are.
That's right. Weren't you at? Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Maybe so. My mother-in-law will tell you these long, drawn-out stories. And it's like she starts in the middle with full certainty that you know what she's talking about.
Yeah, it's like a Quentin Tarantino story. It's going to jump around.
Involving 10 people who you've never heard of, and she's sworn that you know every person and their backstory.
Sure.
But the easiest thing to do is just go with it. It's like, yeah, because if I slow you down, this sucker's gonna last a whole lot longer.
We talked about that before. I used to be the way my dad is like, "Yeah, it's this. Just, man, look, try to keep it on one path, because there are all kinds of unless you got nothing to do, you're just chilling out. Hey, grab a beer. This is going to take a while."
Yeah.
I'm talking with my mom. It's funny too, the things you take from your parents. My mom, this line growing up, and she still says it to this day, but I know I've heard it 1,000 times. So whenever we're talking and she starts to tell me something, or to explain something or a story, and you kind of like lose track and she forgets, her line is always, what was I going to say? "Oh, well, must have been a," wait, no. Her next line is, "Oh, well, must have been a lie."
There you go. I do that. I'll tell people when they don't know. I respond, "Must have been a lie." So,
oh, you tell that to other people.
Yeah, when they say I can't remember what I was going to say.
Oh no, my mom doesn't lie, which is funny. But she doesn't tell anybody else. She does herself. When she forgets what she's going to say, she's like, "Nah, must have been a lie." Yeah, I remember I said that once. I might have been in a business situation one time, and I was rambling, and that's not what
advice.
when you're the quote unquote consultant. That's
banking consultant.
That's probably not the line you want coming out. Like, yeah, that's, you know what I really think would be important. God, what was I going to say? That must have been a lie. Whoa.
Everything else I said was true, though.
That's right. Yeah. Up until that, I was nailing it. All right, we're talking about like lies. This is a different kind of lie. Last week, early last week, I'm looking at my phone. I get a text. I get a message, and it's from my credit card. You got these alerts, right? $9,500 charge to something called Find a Pet.
See, it's sticking with it. That's because we've been talking about pets. I mean, so your phone's listening to you.
9,500. And then you learn, and I'm not going to dog on it's a big bank, the cards with, it's my airline. It's a big,
Mm-hmm.
And then you go through that process of, okay, what's the number? What's the number I got to call? And you go through the stupid net, the
voice prompt, the voicemail tree.
It's a pending thing. And you go through, and now it's like the worst of all worlds. The more technology they use, the more frustrating it becomes, because you got to enter everything. You got to punch it in, and then say your name, say your address, say, okay, so I've had to enter stuff. I've had to say it. Eventually you get on hold. Eventually this person comes on. what's the first thing she has you do?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Everything
crap
you
just
did.
put in. Yeah.
Like, really? And then so it was, yeah. She said, what's going on? I said, well, I have no idea what this. And she was kind of funny. She's like, ooh, that 95. That's, I wonder what that is. And she couldn't figure it out. But that's frustrating as all get out. And it was one of these deals that it looked like it showed up as an in-person. So I think somebody, yeah, it's happened. Oh yeah, it's happened. I mean, it's happened. I bet you that's happened to me 5 or 6 times over the past 10 years for sure. And especially it's my business card that I use traveling, and I just started traveling again. Right. So and part of me wants to just take a few,
waiting on you.
Geez, just take a few days to go back and figure out, okay, which gas station,
yeah. And that's, I think, more often where it is. I got my card,
annoying, man.
And it's a PayPal business card. So, yeah, and I don't use it often. So I'll get email or confirmations whenever I do use, or just an instant email receipt. And I had one, and it was like $400 and something at CVS in Beaumont, Texas. And so I instantly called and said, not me. So but I asked what do they do? Just make a digital purchase, and they said no, they'll pull your number and make an actual card.
Yeah.
And put their signature on it, put their name on it, and go until you catch it. And I said, well, the next question is, what the hell did they spend $450 on at CVS? And she said, well, I can send you a list. I said, I was just being sarcastic. I don't really want to know.
But, I would have asked for the list. I kind of want to find, that's the thing. I never got the information on this. Like, what's a find? Like, find a pet, 9,500? That's the thing too.
They found and bought a lot of pets.
Well, it kind of made me think about, maybe I got to reduce the limit I got on that card. Right. Because I didn't realize what that card, what the limit on that hardly dented it. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know. Geez, that's bold. Right. That's not trying to slide in.
Must be frozen.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
All right. Yeah,
I'm impressed. That's probably the headshots we're getting saying, all right, internet's gonna, the on the road internet. So this last week, you've been to the house in Thibodeau where we got this house my mom's at, and we have this barn behind it. It used to be an art studio. I guess it still could be, but it's really nice, big. And when we got the house, that was one of the big selling. It was cool. It's just 2-story, really nice looking barn studio kind of deal. Well, of course, that's sort of like having a separate kind of house that everything goes bad. So apparently the roof needs changing and has to be repainted, and so sinking all kinds of money into this thing. So this is always fun to do when you're sitting in Houston and getting bids for a roofing job in Thibodeau. And so it's, you just online and you call and talk and get out there and look at it. And I admire construction, and I get so frustrated with contractors, right? Because you get the guys that go out there and they apparently don't need the money. You can always tell when you get the bid pretty dang quick and way more than you think it's going to be, because they really don't want it. Right. It's like,
I'm going to make it worth my while.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to take this job on, but yeah. So, okay, boom. So that's the high water mark. Then I got 4 or 5 different folks that went out there. Let me see what I can do. And then you get a couple of them that are, if they're selling too hard or talking too much, or just about what kind of materials they're going to use here and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, bruh, it's a roof. It's an asphalt roof. It's a barn. Nobody lives in there. There's not even plumb. Like, I need something that won't leak. How about that?
Right, I don't want anything to rot or get damaged.
I don't necessarily.
Spanish tile.
Okay. So then you go around that, you get some of these, and then you get the other one. And so I end up going with this guy who, he sounded cool. And he was about the low bid, or close to the low, sensible. I'm talking to him, and you do the better business. All right, everything's legit. All right, let's get it done. So he's lined up. He called me. We should have the crew out there. What day it was? Monday, I guess, last week. Yeah, great. Monday comes, nothing happens. Well, because it was been raining and blah, 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 blah. All right. So it'll probably be Tuesday. Tuesday, something else, some other. Yeah, the crew went to the dump and something didn't work. And all right. Wednesday, bro.
Just abandon the job.
Well, Wednesday gonna get it done. Right. So now we got cameras all over the place, so I can pull up. I can see when somebody's at the house. So Wednesday morning, bright and early, there comes a truck and dudes start unloading supplies. They're unloading supplies, in the driveway off to the side. Great. Dude texts me, man, crew left out here. They ought to be, getting at it. I punch back up at 10:30. Nobody's there. 11, 12. Nobody's there. So I end up texting this guy saying, yo, bro, people dropped off supplies this morning, but there's nobody out there working, which apparently became as news to him. So I don't hear from this guy. So I'll wait like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I text and he calls and I don't want to answer the phone because I don't want to hear the lies. I just don't, I'm just that way. Like text me, put it in writing. I want to see but then after a while, all right. So I talked to the guy and, I don't know what happened. They were supposed to start today. They're making me look like I'm, he said the cuss word and I'm like, I'm just being honest.
Yourself.
I'm just being honest. I don't know where those SOBs are. And he didn't say SOB. He said, right. So then later on, I'm like, is that the only crew you got? Well, no, I got whatever. So how about you send me another crew? I said, no. These guys, they do real good work.
Whenever they show up, they're good.
You're the one that just called your own crew a bunch of SOBs.
Yeah. I'm going from honest. Maybe he forgot what he was going to say. Must have been a lie.
Must have. And he must have, like, several times in the conversation. And I think he's a good guy. He says, look, man, I'm just being honest. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just being honest. Like, that means something. Like,
right.
Dude,
how about
great.
you figure it out and then be honest?
Being honest. They're not answering their calls. They're not answering the text. That's wonderful.
You own a roofing company. I'm assuming you know how to put up a roof.
Well, and then the next day, the next day, the story I got was the top person on the job had some kind of family emergency come up and none of the other ones work if the top person's not there and blah, blah, blah. And look, I get it. But the funny thing was the next day he's telling me this, like, hey, they're out there doing it today. And I'm thinking, you want to thank you? Like, this is 4 days. This is 4 days into this, bro. Hey, don't get me wrong. I think he's a good guy. And I talked to him a bit after and said, man, I understand. And my thing to him was, I understand. It happens. Anybody's ever managed anybody else. But the other funny thing was he tells me, man, it's hard to these crews and, man, look, asphalt roofers, that's the lowest paid construction folks we have. And I'm thinking, that sounds like a personal issue, bro. I mean,
it's not the lowest price.
I'm looking at the bid. I don't know how much of this you're giving them, but them being underpaid ain't because of me. But that said, I did, and I got the photos, and it looks like they did. They got out there and did it looks like they did a great job. So it took about a week long. Eventually, got around to it. Dealing with people. In the words of Juan.
How long is it going to take? About a day. It may take us a month to get to that day. But when we do, originally, it'll be a day.
He told me that originally. We knocked that out in about a half a day. I'm like, they got rotten wood up there. Yeah, you guys bionic? What do you mean half a day? You'd be replacing, and they had to replace. That's the other thing too, is these days with plywood and stuff. Oh man. You start seeing the pictures like, golly, I should have just burned that barn down. What's the insurance on that thing?
Yeah. It's got replenishment. It's a whole lot of money.
Oh man. No, I was saying before, so in the words of Juan, what you gonna do?
Hey, that's it, bro.
What you gonna do?
Do what you do.
Do what you do. You do what you do, bro.
Yeah, do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do.
And it's about that time of the week on I don't think it's abbreviated. I think we're going to be about a normal length podcast, but it's one of those got to get and go. That's
right, man.
Morning, you got to go stare at a pool.
I got to go maids. I think they're actually cleaning this hotel room. So
nice. Do they wear Elvis jumpsuits?
I did probably do. I only know that because I saw cleaning carts in there. So
I got you.
I put up a do not disturb sign on the door, which apparently in some other languages do not massacre. So
Do not, man.
yeah. So like, all right, whatever.
That story of my life. I show up at the hotels. I always put the do not disturb, and then I wait for the carts to be in the hallway, and I'll go out and ask for the stuff I need. Because I just don't want, I don't want to, it's just like not having a house cleaner come to the thing about having a housekeeper come to your house is you got to pick up for them to clean. I'm sort of that way with a hotel room. You got stuff spread out everywhere. You got my work stuff out. I'm doing whatever. I don't want you. Yeah, leave me some towels and some soap. Yeah, and I'm still gonna leave you a tip. I'm gonna leave you a tip on my way out of here. But you stay out the room. And we were closing, and then we.
And I derailed it.
No, I think I did. We'll go back and verify. But anyway, we pushed the button, see if any of this stuck to tape, and hopefully it did. And we didn't get too many lockups today on the road, and on the road edition.
Unstable Wi-Fi.
There you go. I got a little Max voice on that one. All right. We're getting out of here. Hey, we love hearing from you folks. If you want to reach us outside of social media, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. We read them, we enjoy them, respond to them as we can. How else can you catch us?
On social media, we're on YouTube and on subscribe to the channel. Throw us a like, as I heard somebody refer to on a podcast earlier this week. Throw us a like. Share it. We're also on just the audio version of the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So check it out, give us a listen, share it with your friends.
That's right. And always remember, if you're just listening to the audio, when you hear Juan, think Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa without the tats. That's me.
All right. Guys, this is a lot of fun. It's way more fun when you're here. And we thank you for being here. We're going to shoot for, I guess, next Monday.
Next Monday, man. Yeah, still on the road. The 7 o'clock though. I was early this week. 7 o'clock.
We really are not getting any better at openings or closing. It's
no, it's just inability to shut up.
Follow the scripts. All right, everybody. Everybody out there, have a fantastic week. You too, buddy. Love you. Peace.
Back at you, man. Everything else I said was true though.
That's right. Yeah. Up until that.